On today's show, Coops ponders Bunders in Berlin. Masterful27 makes his usual predictions. Milo continues his rant. And I consider what the view's like from the Space Needle. Welcome back to Incensed Podcast. Guys, how's it going?
Doing all right, broski. Doing all right. Still foaming at the mouth slightly, but that's fine.
You can get injections for that.
Yeah, it's booked in, don't worry.
Do you know what, though? The funny thing is, like, they say it's good to take a social media break, and I can imagine that's not what Milo's done this week. He's probably had like a pure opposite of it. He's got like
literally, Milo has been spamming Twitter so much, he's still salty as hell. Milo, you calm down yet, man?
I said no.
No, the joke aside though, Ian, like, I've been away for a couple of days, I've been off it, and I was like genuinely thought, are we still on about that? Like, before we spoke on the show, I was like, was that still a thing going on? I thought it'd all sorted itself out, but obviously it hasn't.
No, I don't think it has. I would say probably 75% of the Pokemon Go population's over it. Wouldn't you agree?
People aren't on social media.
Yeah, but you just get keyboard warriors on Twitter that bitch and moan. You don't tend to get much
How dare
positivity
you.
on Twitter.
I am one of those 25%, Ian. I do that.
Oh, the casual's being quiet. You all right, man?
Is it me? What have you got? What are you? What have you got?
No, so I was actually okay. So I was actually okay until Ian brought up the city where my ex-girlfriend found another bloke. So thanks for that, Ian. I appreciate for that Berlin reminder, but no, I'm fucking joking. No, I'm joking. Fuck her.
We've got to keep it topical, Coops.
Yeah. No.
You could blame Niantic for that one.
No, I'm all good, bro. I'm all good. Honestly, mate, all banter aside from there, like, I'm actually the happiest I've been in ages, mate. I genuinely am. I'm feeling really good. And like I said, I still go on Twitter and Milo's still fucking going on and on and on about all this shit. I'm like, mate, literally get a life. But anyway, apart from that,
just let it drop. But Coops, how's it going with Grindr and
fuck off!
Tinder and eHarmony?
Like how that's the first one he picked.
He goes to eHarmony from Grindr to eHarmony.
I hate that, Mark. I hate that. Do you know what, mate? Do you know what? Funny you should ask. I think I've found my future, bro. I think I've found my person. I mean that. And I'm not joking.
What's his name?
No, fuck off.
No, you said I think I found my future bro. So
did I?
what?
Did I just
What's
say
his
that?
name?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Did I actually just say? I think Milo. Are they winding me up? Milo, look at me.
I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, brilliant. We're even better. Oh, he's on Twitter. He's
Sorry.
on Twitter at
He's on
Niantic.
Sorry.
Twitter typing away.
Sorry, I'll put the phone down. I'm sorry.
Scheduling his tweets. Oh, come on, Milo.
Put Twitter away, delete the app.
Well, I apologize. I swear, if you lot are winding me up, I'm going to kill you. But I apologise. I meant to say I found I found my person. Honestly, she's
Your
amazing.
soulmate.
But you still haven't confirmed if she's female
No,
yet.
no,
You just
no,
said I've gone from
female.
bro to person. But you said I've just found my person.
Sorry.
I'm like, what? Just say.
Listen, when I listen to this
You
back,
never know. They could be non-binary.
it's actually an oak tree. No. She. It's a 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 she. No. Honestly,
Very eco-friendly.
yeah, she's amazing. She does know about the podcast. I've not told her the name, but I feel like she's said a few things. So I think, oh, holy fuck, I think she might have found out the name.
What's her Twitter handle, Coops?
No, fuck off. No, we're not doing that. We're not
Come on,
doing that.
Milo's itching. You can see he just wants to type something.
Got the search bar open.
What's Mystic Seven's girlfriend's name? At Lauren Higgs. It's her.
Loves half an inch.
But yeah, no. Anyway, why does it always divert the savagery back to me? And Ian, we have to ask the host. Ian, how are you, my boy?
You know what? I'm actually pretty good. Yeah, pretty good.
We'll leave that one there then.
That's about as far as I can actually say without elaborating too much. But yeah, pretty good. Pretty good, thank you, mate. Anyway, you guys know what time it is. It's time to grab a cold one or a hot one. Cheap plug, check out our mug on Teespring. And drop that incense.
Pop an incense inside.
Pint glass as well.
The pint glass. Oh, well said, Milo. We have pint glasses and mugs. Teespring.com. Is it /incense podcast or something?
Literally no idea.
I don't know. Check out the link in the description. Anyway, if you do get anything good, please let us know on Twitter, Insta, or TikTok. And that way we can shout you out using the hashtag Shinies of the Week.
Clarify the spelling, you twat.
Let's just go with that. Have a fresh one. I can't find the soundbite.
That's hashtag SHINIESOFTHEWEEK. So let's move straight into not our first section. Guys, we're going to talk about the Cottonee Spotlight weekend.
Yes, I've been waiting for this.
So,
What's Cottonee Spotlight weekend?
yeah, let us get into a few thoughts.
No, I'll say I'm going to sit this one out. Cheers, boys. I'm looking forward to listening to the chat now. Cheers. I'm going to sit this one out.
Cheers.
I've not turned the game on since last Thursday, so cheers.
Oh my
cheers.
God. Oh my God.
Trost.
Well, Milo hasn't either, to be fair. His app usage at the moment is
Swung.
like 99% Twitter.
It's just been on Twitter constantly.
This
hasn't
week
it?
it's just changed.
So, Cottonee weekend, what were my thoughts on it? If you'd asked me that after Saturday, and I'll explain what I did on Saturday, walked down to the village, went to the pub, had a couple of drinks walked on fields, open areas, rural living. He had that one loaded.
That was primed, wasn't
Ready?
it?
He had that one primed, had an incense on, and I saw 20 Cottonee over a 6.5 hour
Oh, damn.
time period.
Ouch.
And I was going, this isn't really designed for the rural player.
Oh,
I was
where's
a
the
bit...
cow? Where's
Sorry,
the cow?
I scrolled away from it.
This event's shit. And that's kind of where my head was with it. And I left it then because I thought, well, they're not coming on Incensed. And actually, the spawns stopped after about 8 o'clock. Didn't even see them on the nearby. So I was a bit like, you know what? Is what it is. Then Sunday, I went over to Cheltenham. It's what do you call it? A town? It's a town, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cheltenham? It's a town. And was curious to see what it was like in parks because we don't have parks where I live. And
Do you
actually,
have a duck pond, Mark?
no, nothing. So we had lunch, lovely lunch, went for that, and then I said, listen, about an hour before I went away, I wanted to just check out some of the parks in and around Cheltenham,
Yeah.
just walk through them and see what that was. I noticed the difference, that you was certainly getting Cottonee spawns in the parks. And when I walked through a couple of small parks in Cheltenham, I probably saw a dozen within about a 15-minute walk through it. So I was there going, they have obviously boosted them in parks, and it was just parks. Okay, you know, I obviously couldn't play it for more than that sort of half hour in the parks, and I felt a little bit happier knowing actually if I'd really wanted to invest the time and spent time playing it in parks, the likelihood is I would have got a shiny, because I saw enough to believe that they did increase the spawns. But I've got an idea for how they could have done it better, but we'll do that at the end of this conversation. I could see a difference, let's put it that way, but didn't get a shiny, and I think I got over about 50, 60 Cottonee, but no shiny.
Yeah, I don't think the rates were boosted, were they?
It wasn't. It was a standard 1 in 450, 1 in 500 or so. As you guys know, I live quite near a park. It's also quite a good park with actually a decent, good amount of spawn points for the nesting Pokemon. And that's how they did this event, is they switched whatever the nesting Pokemon was in your park to Cottonee, which, funnily enough, the open street maps or whatever it is, or Niantic's map thing, doesn't recognize every park as a nest. So it had to be a nesting part for it to work. Mark, you would have not seen this because you were out and about in the rural countryside with the first day. I was out and about grinding from about 11, and the Cottonee spawns in the parks were dreadful. They were so bad. It was really poorly matched to whatever the rest of the normal spawns were. It would definitely replace the nest spawns, but they sort of replaced the nest spawns with other stuff rather than Cottonee. Sort of grinding and just trying to catch everything and checking and stuff like that. And then it got to about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and suddenly 5 o'clock, the amount of Cottonee we could see in the park tripled, quadrupled. Suddenly just went through the roof, which was when a couple of us managed to get shinies of it. So I did get a shiny Cottonee on the Saturday, which was sick. But that was it. It's sort of like we grinded them from like, okay, the spawns are here. We'll grind from about 5, and then we grind to about sort of 8 or so. So another 3 hours. We saw, I want to say, about 80% more Cottonee in those 3 hours than in the previous 7.
Wow, yeah.
I don't know why. And it's like, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, does like 5 p.m. link up with 10 a.m. in America?
5 p.m.
Oh, East
would
Coast
be
of America.
12 o'clock on the East Coast.
Yeah, so it doesn't even match up with that, really.
Then another 3 hours to the West Coast.
Because the event started at 10.
Would make it about 9 o'clock on the West Coast.
It's really weird.
It makes sense. It would be Niantic would have probably caught it for West Coast time for Pacific Standard Time.
It's just a very weird thing. Suddenly the spawns boost at 5 p.m. when actually the vast majority of people who come out during the day just went home because there weren't spawns, or didn't come out at all because they saw the reports from Australia and were like, this is crap. So got shiny on day one, and then Sunday went out and about again because the spawns were supposed to be good. They kind of died down again on Sunday. They weren't as good as that 3-hour window on the Saturday evening, but still managed to get a second shiny. So I managed to get two shiny Cottonee, which was sweet. And it was a glorious weekend. Thank you, Coopsy. Thank you, Marky. Ian, applaud me, you bastard.
I'm not applauding you, because you'll see why in a second.
You'll see why in a second, yeah. As an event, I agree with Mark, as it wasn't particularly well thought through, because you did have not only have to go to a park, but you had to go to a park that had a established nest, which not everybody who plays the game has one of those around. If they'd sort of just said, hey, it's green spaces, which means if you were out and about in the countryside, you could have had spawns there. It could have been done better in my view. But Ian, what about yourself?
Well, I can't believe Niantic planned an event on a weekend when I couldn't play. What the fuck are they playing? Yeah, essentially, I actually had a house guest all weekend, so couldn't get out and play.
House guest.
You know what? It's not what you're thinking. I've got a friend that was having issues with his wife. So, what I will say is, and this is proven that I'm not a hypocrite, I couldn't play it. So what? You know what I mean? It's a game. I'm not going to start bitching and moaning about it. I'm just going to get over it and say I couldn't play it. I'll get a shiny Cottonee when I'm due to get a shiny Cottonee.
That is another round of applause.
I like that. That's good.
Ian, can you just quickly just unbutton your shirt and just get your dick out? Is that right?
Hang on, where do you think my dick is, Coops?
It's a third nipple.
on top of your head, you dickhead.
It's well hidden with the headphones.
Yeah, so that was my story. I didn't get a chance to play it, so I did see a few Milos on Twitter going on about how crap it was throughout Saturday, but I did hear that it did pick up later on in the day. But Mark and Milo, you both said that you had ideas about how it could have been improved, so let's talk about that before we move into the actual show.
Yeah, I'd like to hear Mark's.
So, if someone bought out Niantic and they planned the event...
At a basic
Well,
level.
for me, you see, shiny Cottonee's a ginger.
It is, yeah.
And
It's
my
like
thought-
the Coops of Pokemon.
It is like, and I think Coops has already bought Niantic and weren't aware of it. And this is just his first transitional phase into the game. No, Coops couldn't have done that because he was in Liverpool, wasn't he, at the weekend? So we did see him. He was spotted on social media, queuing up with the 85.
At the PvP championships. Oh, I'm dead.
But no, how could it have been better? I had an idea, and it was only because, we spent a bit of time talking about how the game's going back to how it used to be. And I think maybe there's an option where they actually use some of the changes to their advantage. And my thought was that maybe having a Cottonee Incensed event, which would have meant that anyone who could have played the game, all they had to do was be out and about on the move. So if you live in cities, you live in villages, on islands, you live anywhere. If you're out and about, on your feet, walking, and it's an incense, you pop an incense and you're getting a Cottonee spawns off the incense, it means everyone can play it if they want to. I felt it was just a way of getting everybody, because you can't play it from home. You'll get your 10 an hour or whatever it bloody is if you didn't want to do it like that. But I thought there was an opportunity for them to actually, off the back of changing the incense, have actually put an incense event in there in a new format. And maybe that would have got people enamelled again with the incense and seeing it as actually it's quite a handy tool with these sort of events. Get on the move. That was my only thought. I think, like you say, I was just intrigued for my sanity to see if there's a variation between green space and parks, which I saw.
Which I think they did say on the release it was in parks, didn't they? I think they did say parks originally.
They did, yeah. But yeah, you're right, because parks are a dark green area, aren't they, on the map? Whilst green space is just light green, isn't it?
It's just sort of general map. Yeah, it has to be registered as a dark green, like a nest. That's the key thing, is it can be a park, but if it doesn't have nesting spawns, like, during the week or every 2 weeks, it's like a Machop or fletchling nest or whatever it is, then it won't have had Cottonee at all, which is what a lot of people were reporting. I think that's all right suggestion, because it would have made people who maybe didn't have a green space or a nesting park actually be able to partake somewhat in the event. The issue then with that is that Niantic were trying to drive people to parks. They could have specified and say, hey, it needs to be a nesting park, but they're trying to make you go to a park if you want to play this event and try for Cottonee.
It makes a change, because normally the best spawns are in car parks at supermarkets.
Yeah, or shopping shopping
Yeah,
centres.
yeah, they are, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I just think it could have been done a bit better with the spawns. Have it in parks, whatever. The incense thing that Mark suggests I quite like, but the fact that it took 7 hours for them to actually activate spawn boosts is a bit mental. And I think when I look back at people who played in Australia and stuff, they didn't ever have a boost. It never synced up for some reason. So just a very bizarre mini event, really.
Did it never sync up for them?
I don't think so. From what I heard from people in my Discord, it's sort of like they just had crap spawns the entire, whatever it was, the entire Saturday.
I saw a few Swedish players had posted pictures on Twitter, and they were in parks. I guess they must have not had nests in them, and they were literally just like images of them in parks, and there was fuck all in there.
I can definitely see your frustration though, guys. Like, if you go out and you plan your, let's say, week or the week before around this Saturday, I can totally see the frustration when out of the whole 7 hours you see 10 Cottonees and it's a Cottonee event. I totally get that.
I think that's the takeaway, isn't it? I think if you're going to put events on, really, they shouldn't screw it up.
Yeah. It'll be like, a community day, but...
No, it'll be like, was it Mareep Community Day?
They have done this in the past.
Yeah.
Mareep
Back
Community
in the
Day,
day.
they had a Kanto event overlapping with it.
Yeah, it's frustrating for sure. I feel that.
So a nice little chat to start off this show, but let's get back to our established format.
And now, children, it's time for Getting to Know You with the Incensed podcast.
And tonight we're going to keep it simple. We're not going to go with Coops' what's your favourite rom-com question. We're going to stick to something that's nice and simple. So, yeah, that'll be next week maybe, Mark. I don't know.
I'm going to have to do it, aren't I? I'm going to
Roll
have
it on
to
so
do
it's
it.
Coops'.
Maybe. When I actually wrote these show notes was actually in the start of spring. I mean, it was warm, it was sunny, and then today it's thrown it out with snow, so this question is a little bit relevant, but we're moving into the summer months. So, in the summer, would you rather go camping or to the beach? Mark?
Camping. Everyday camping. I hate sand.
That's because you sell so much of the stuff.
That's true. I'm the guy who will walk on the beach in his trainers and his socks. Because I don't want that sand getting in there. Don't get me wrong, I've been abroad in the summer. We've done Greece, been on the beach there, lovely. But I love road trips. We drive around Europe in the summer. We have a tent in the back of the car. Having a tent in the back of your car means you can just pitch up anywhere. Don't have to plan too much. You can just work around the time and where you are.
I hear Coops pitches up anywhere, actually.
Does. I've also heard his camp. I mean, he likes to camp. So
I'm not biting, Ian. I'm not biting, you little...
Outside the Liverpool Championships.
yeah. He was in his little thing. He was there queuing up, waiting to get in, but he was at the front of the queue.
Listeners, can you hear this? I'm being quiet, keeping myself to myself. And
Picking on me.
I'm getting violated.
Camping, Ian. Camping it is.
Camping. Good. Coops?
First of all, love the question. Second of all, this is a hard one, right? Because I feel like it really depends where you are. And let me give you a scenario, right?
Coops are going to say, I would go camping on the beach.
No.
Yes.
No, because Coops never gives you an answer, does he?
You do it. I like, try and put a tent peg in the sand. Oh, it ruins it all.
Yeah, no, fair play, you little shit. That was funny. So I feel like, okay, so my younger self wants to say beach. My older self wants to say camping. But fucking hell, I'm trying to be serious, you little shit. But
You're only like 29, aren't you? My younger self, my older self. How old are you?
Okay, no, I'm 28. But so to answer this question, if I was in Sydney, in Australia, there's nothing more than I would. That's Mark, not me.
Oh no, what Coops said to me was beep.
Yeah. There's nothing more than I would want to be at a beach bar there in Manly, Bondi, doing the fucking Coogee to Bondi walk, having a few Coronas, down in a few beers, chatting to a few Bondalengas, like in the sun, in my little shorts and my little Adidas sliders. There's nothing more than I would like that. But if I was in, let's say, somewhere like Cornwall, do you know what I mean? South of England, there's nothing more than I'd love, you know what I mean? With my partner, with the dog, taking the dog on a little hike. So I feel like it really depends on where you are in the world. And I know that doesn't really answer your question, and I know I've just done the stereotypical.
What would you rather?
Okay.
And you've already mapped out your future with this new girl you've met already.
Yeah, you've married
You're
him,
gonna
you've
move
got
to
a
Cornwall.
dog, you've got a dog.
No, and I'm just saying, I'm like putting. Okay, my answer is Drum roll, please. I'm going to go with beach.
We finally got there, Milo. We finally got an answer out of him.
We got an answer. I'll be more to the point.
60 fucking weeks, and we got an answer out of it.
Hey.
You can thank the bundalengas in the bikinis.
No, give me the beach every time. Give me the beach. I've never been a fan of camping. See you there, Coopsy. Skinny dipping, yeah.
I love the fact, as you said, camping. I went, see you there. But yeah. Oh, yeah, skinny dipping.
I've never been a fan of camping my entire life. Never been a fan of it. I think the only camping I've ever done is the stuff you had to do for Duke of Edinburgh stuff.
Duke of Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Oh, Duke of Edinburgh. Was that when you were in boarding school, Milo?
I wasn't a boarder, but it was a boarding school.
You know, I can imagine the Duke of Edinburgh. It'd be like Milo in the in-betweeners. He'd be at some old age people. Yes.
And the geography teacher's trying to groom him, take him swimming in the lake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The geography teacher brings him a bottle of vodka. There you go, Milo.
Yeah.
Have a sip of water.
Let me dry you off, or you look like you're getting cold.
The geography teacher's like, Milo, I've got these new limited edition Charizard Speedos for you to put on. Milo's like, yeah, I love Pokemon.
Charizard budgie smugglers.
Age 8 briefs.
Jesus Christ. Well, I shall not elaborate any further.
We've just scarred Milo. We've brought back memories, haven't we, Milo? Sorry, dude.
Flashback. No.
It's now time for letters to the host.
Dear Milo.
Dear Milo, I'm dead.
It's been 12 years since you was at school.
Since I last saw you.
God, can we joke about that? Probably not. I'm not sure. Fuck it.
Probably not. It's probably not PC.
No,
but hey.
we've done it anyway. Honestly, 2022 does worry me. Sorry, Milo. Sorry.
I was actually looking for the letters to the host jingle. I was trying to find it. I can't find it.
It's further down.
Bubba-lubba-bum, bubba-lubba-bum. Woof. I love that in-between scene. That is so funny, isn't it? He's in the fucking door. It's in fucking Jay's lay there with his eyes.
Can you imagine?
It is so
Coops
funny.
would be in the bedroom with the old lady that's asleep. Gladys, that's it.
That's when I was younger.
Honestly, listen. Best series ever. Fuck the American version because that was horrific.
Yeah.
That was
It
so
is absolutely
horrific.
I
Very
still
bad.
binge watch it to
so
this day.
funny. Honestly, if you haven't watched The Inbetweeners, guys, please, it is if you've
The-
got a
the
good
UK,
sense of
the
humour,
original,
if you've got a good
yeah.
sense of humour, you will be pissing yourself
It's
from
hilarious.
start to finish.
It's absolutely
Oh,
hilarious.
it's so funny. And then the film's even funnier, just so funny.
Oh,
The
yeah.
first one, yes. The second one,
I
don't
agree.
think
I agree.
so.
I agree.
But I can relate to the second one in Australia. Was it Australia the second one?
Wait, did you travel around Australia?
Did you just
Australia.
sleep, Mark?
Beep.
Do you know
beep.
what? When I was in Australia, I remember seeing this like little 18-year-old ginger lad following me around. Who knew? Who knew we'd be here, Coops? Who knew?
I was trying to catch your wiggly tough.
But Ian,
What is
swiftly
happening?
moving
Can we
on.
move on? Yeah.
Moving on.
Can we move
Ian.
on? What is? Yeah.
beach or tent?
Beach every single time.
Join Coops.
I have I'll join you lot on the beach. I would love to be able to do the whole camping thing, but it's just too much hard work. You know, the only time I've ever really been camping was when I went to Download Festival 3 years in a row. Got absolutely rat-arsed in a tent for like 5 days. But given the choice between the two, there's not even. There's not even a decision for me. I literally just love the beach, chilling out, relaxing, going into the ocean, going surfing, going scuba diving, and then yes, you do not see girls walking around the woods in a bikini. Well, certainly not where I come from, anyway.
Guys, can I just ask a really stupid question?
There are no stupid questions, Mark.
Right, camping is the only way you sleep at night. I'm confused. Do you say you can't go to the beach and then go to the campsite and sleep? I'm really confused because you're going. You don't see them walking around campsites, but you don't stay at a campsite all day. You go out and do stuff, and you go and put your head down. That's what you do when you're camping.
No, camping is the whole environment, isn't it?
Oh, beach then. Oh, I misunderstood the question. we just pitch a tent up wherever we are. So we've pitched a tent by the beach. What? we like pop it up wherever we are and we just camp on it. We've got like one of those inflatable tents. Just go flick, boom, it's up. Take it down, boom. So there's no effort putting it up or putting it down.
Boys, you know what there is to do now?
What's that,
To
Coops?
get our Incensed podcast beach towels out.
One for the four of us.
Oh, we're plugging the merch tonight.
Can we share one between the four of us? All of us like with one just in front of us.
That is on our OnlyFans, on our link tree. Oi, oi.
Oh, yeah, Coops, what's that? Linktree?
Yeah, we got a link tree now. You know, I mean, this is probably the first thing I've done for the podcast in the last year and a half.
You did do, I think, 2 Instagram posts, didn't you?
No, I think it was one.
I like how Ian was struggling. Ian was struggling then.
Coops, you want me to go backwards?
Oh dear. But that's great, guys. So it's unanimous. We'd all go to the beach. That's, let's do it. Spring break. But without further ado, the Counter Brothers are taking the week off this week. So it's over to Billy Bob, 27, and Cletus Coops. It's the Counter Cousins.
I do like that jingle because it's all about, you know, Pokemon counters, and we just get like a random fucking like alien lightsaber at the end. but anyway, this is going to be the Counter Cousins with me and Marky Boy for the first time ever. So the Rainbows that we're going to be talking about is going to be Thundurus Therian Forme, and Thundurus Therian Forme is going to be part lightning.
Part lightning and part flapping.
Casual who?
Marky Boy, we're leaving that. Part lightning and part flapping.
I want you to do this so wrong. It'll be hilarious.
Which means it's going to be weak to stones and frost.
That's it.
Oh, Milo, we made this look so easy, don't we?
So Marky Boy, I'll go first with the first counter. So the top counter, the best counter that you can take for this is going to be Bulbasaur. No, it's going to be it's going to be Shadow / normal Mamoswine. Mamoswine is an absolute beast. We all know this. At a common day, it's been plenty of events. You know, plenty XL Candy, Powder Snow, and Avalanche. That's the first one.
Very good. If you don't want to go Shadow and you just want to go something that you might have, Rampardos is a really good counter. That is the one that looks a little bit bigger and bulkier than What was it roll from, Coops? Is it Shieldon?
Cranidos.
Cranidos. It's Cranidos, isn't it? Yeah, sorry. And that's the got the fast move Smackdown, is it?
Correct.
And the charge move Stone Slide?
No.
Rock
We need
slide.
rock
It's
slide. Do it again. Rock slide.
Rock Slide.
It's going really well, Mark, I think. So talking of community days, we've also got Rhyperior with Smackdown and Frenzy Plant. I mean, Rock Wrecker. Smackdown and Rock Wrecker are going to be the 2 moves that you're going to want. So far, this is what you need.
And another good one, because we like an evolution, because they are critical to playing the game, and it's good for those lower level trainers who might not have had a chance to get proper candy for these other ones. Glacio, or is it Glacio? Glacian? Is it Glacian? Glacian, that's the one. And that has Snow Point as a fast move, is it? And snow falling down the mountain really quickly as its fast move. Ice Shard and Avalanche.
Now, Marky Boy, I should leave this one to you, but technically, I'm actually on Pokebattle, a great website. And apparently the second best to use. Now, this is controversial because, you know, on Incensed, a Pokemon Go podcast, or as Ian and Milo say, just Incensed podcast, we do not like Megas, but Mega Aerodactyl is apparently the second best attacker with Rock Throw and Rock Slide. So if you do have enough energy, Mega Aerodactyl is the way forward.
And staying on the Mega route, and this is one that we do like, Coops, because we ask this question every week. Mega Charizard, why? Why is also up there with Fire Spin and Blast Burn.
I completely agree, Mark, and we'll do a few more. I'm going to do 2 now because, look, on Pokebattle, both of these are shadows, but the chances of you having a 13, 13, 13 and above shadow of these Pokemon, You're very lucky if you do. But we also have Mewtwo with Psycho Cut and Ice Beam is going to be very good. And of course, Weavile/Shadow Weavile with Ice Shard and Avalanche is also going to be really good to try and add in your party. But again, like I said, the chances of you having a level 50 Shadow Weavile, I mean, maybe you might. If you're Milo, you might. But yeah, the majority of us don't.
And I've got a couple of budget options here
Nice.
for those trainers that haven't got these ones. Beartic is a good option with Powder Snow and Ice Punch. And Omastar with Rock Throw and Rock Slide are also budget options against... what's this against? What is it? Therian Forme, what was it? Thundurus? Tornadus?
Therian Forme Thundurus, yeah.
Thundurus, the lightning one. Cool.
And to be honest, Marky Boy, I mean, to be honest, I think I can end the counter bros there. I mean, you know, we have ones like Terrakion with Smackdown and Rock Slide. You know, other ones like Galarian, Darumaka, Ice Fang and Avalanche. But to be fair, I think we've mentioned enough. We've done the best counters, some budget counters, you know, some shadows and, you know, and cheeky Mega in there. I think we can call that a day. What do you think, Mark?
Like that. This is easy, innit, Coops? It's all right, innit?
Now suck me off.
I think the Counter Cousins did all right, didn't they?
I think they did okay for the first losing of their cherry.
Counter Cherry.
Counter cherries. Thank you very much, Billy Bob and Cletus. Anyway, without further ado, let's head straight into this week's first part of the news.
Is the news.
The news. So my part of the news is to actually say, mark your calendars for Pokemon GO-Fest 2022. Pretty obvious, they've released a few GO-Fests, which is freaking awesome, to be totally honest with you. Now, I'm going to give you all three of them. And the first one is going to be from Friday, the 1st of July to Sunday, the 3rd of July. Obviously, this is 2022. And this one is going to be in Berlin. It's going to be in Berlin, the town of where we cheat on our partners, in Germany. Then up next is going to be... Is
that what you're swinging with, Coops?
I'm not sure that's what the tourist board says.
And the next one is going to be from Friday, July the 22nd until Sunday, July the 24th. And this one is going to be in Seattle. So this one's going to be in the United States of America in Seattle. And then the last one, last but certainly not least, because this is a really fucking awesome event drop. From Friday, August the 5th until Sunday, August the 7th, it's going to be in, Sapporo, which is going to be in Japan. Did I butcher that? Is that right? Sapporo, yeah. Sapporo, yeah. Which is going to be in Japan. So like I said, 3 amazing locations, 3 amazing countries. Germany for the first one, USA for the second one, and then Japan for the third one. A little bit unfortunate because we were kind of hoping for one in the UK, but it is what it is. Maybe 2023. And I've got a feeling, I think that Australia were hoping they'd get one as well, weren't they? I think.
Probably.
I predicted UK, Australia and Denmark for some reason, and none of them came in. So 0 for 3.
But there will be a global event, won't there, Coops?
There will be, Ian. There will be a 2-day global event. I'm going to say that one more time. A global event. Global event on Saturday.
Doesn't it sound weird when you keep saying it like that?
Yeah, it does.
Sounds less like a word.
Is it even a word?
Yeah. Maybe at Niantic on Twitter, Milo. Say, why does
Why does this not work?
So on Saturday, the 4th of June and Sunday, the 5th of June, with a bonus finale event on Saturday, the 27th of August. We've kind of got like a opening of the show and then the finale of the show, which is pretty cool. So, so that weekend and then obviously that date at the end of August is going to be like a global event for everyone, which is awesome. So yeah, boys, that's the GO-Fests for 2022. Unless they release a cheeky one round Christmas time. But yeah.
I think there's something for everyone there, isn't there? You've got the global event, and you've also got your European one, Asian one, and also your sort of American one. And being on the West Coast, I would love to go to the one, personally speaking, I would love to go to the one in Seattle. That would be my highlighted one if I could actually travel. And believe me, I'm looking at dates. I don't know about you guys, what are you thinking?
Well, again, I think this is like probably the best overall because nobody really loses out. You've got 2 days, 2-day weekend like we've experienced over the last 2 years, play at home, kind of play with your local squad, etc. And then bringing back the in-person events that we've been requesting so much on the back of Liverpool Safari Zone and stuff. And Berlin, new city. Unfortunately, that Niantic, I mean, I know they've picked this weekend. It's not their fault or anything, but they've picked the one weekend I'm at the British GP. That weekend, so I can't go to Berlin for sure. I'm having a look at Seattle and seeing what the possibilities are there. Japan would be sick, but I think it might just be a tad too expensive.
Yeah, I think realistically, Washington is possibly feasible.
Are you okay though, Milo? Are you sure you're okay?
I'm okay with
He
this.
doesn't look okay, does he?
Okay.
I'm okay with this.
Well, it looks like that the Incensed boys are going to be split up even more than normal when it's normally the three of us together. We're gonna be representing potentially in different parts of the world for this one. I can see Coops in Japan. I think that's a doer. I can see him over there on his own, loving life.
Yeah, I don't think we should let Coops even get anywhere near Berlin. Let's face it.
Talking to the guys in Toaster and the gang, I think Berlin's the one. But I'll certainly be attending. Britzergarten is a prediction of the park. We think it will probably happen in Berlin, which would make sense. There's massive gardens, that is, in Berlin itself. Looking at already the guys in the group, flights are booked already. It's just, everything's been sorted. This is kind of like we were for Safari Zone in Seville. They've all been waiting for the Go-Fests. It's very much, they're doing exactly what we did for Seville already for Berlin. And I totally get it, because it's not a bad location.
I would like to see the Berlin one. It's a beautiful city.
It is, yeah.
Another new place ticked off as well, potentially. But Coops, if it helps your rehab, come along with me, mate.
No, I'm good. I'm only bantering. But yeah, funny you say about Japan. If I was going to pick one, I would pick Japan, hands down. It's a part of the world and a country that I've always wanted to visit for the longest time. But I mean, I won't be going to any, but that's one I would have picked.
Unbelievable. It's also apparently JB, one of our patrons. It's basically the home park.
Oh, it's his home park.
It's home park, which is amazing. And August is also summer festival season. So around that time, there'll be lots of festivals in the country. So definitely Japan will be incredible for anybody who goes.
So JB must literally live in Sapporo then, if that's his local park. He must live like 10 minutes away.
Like
man, the chances of that are amazing. That's crazy.
That's insane. Yeah.
To be like Milo having a Go Fest in Walpole Park.
I will. Because there's a play from home event, so I will be.
So we do have a Go Fest there.
Yeah, everyone
JB,
has a Go Fest.
JB, if you want to slide into my DMs about staying with you for the weekend, I'd love that, mate. Because honestly, like if I can get like average priced flights, I will actually go to Japan. I've always wanted to go. Always.
I've always wanted to go to Japan.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I think the interesting thing, boys, I know we spoke about this before we talked about this section, is what will these, because all we know at the moment is we're going to see Pikachu spawning in various places on your doorstep and at these locations, or certainly these cities. Do we think we're going to have 4 different Go Fests like they've done with Safari Zones? Are they all going to be different Go Fests? Are they going to be the same?
Good question, because historically the live ones have all essentially been the same event.
Yeah.
If it's a strange one, because if you live in one of these cities and you've got the global one...
I mean, is the global one in place of an in-person one? Will you be able to have 2 Go Fests? That's a bloody good question, to be honest.
We'll have to see, because the in-person one, is basically a month before everything else, isn't it? So
yeah.
I honestly think they've got to give something. They'll have to do something special for the in-person events, even if all the in-person events share common factors. We've seen
they have
done in the past.
Yeah.
Shiny Unknown.
Maybe specific Shiny Unknown to the theme of whatever the city is, or something like that, or a certain shiny is only available or whatever released with each week. Maybe we'll have to see. It's exciting because you got the best of pre-pandemic and during pandemic in terms of the events. It's an interesting mix, and I think they've actually hit the nail on the head with the format.
I'm with you, Milo, because really, I know people will find something to complain about, but there's not... Everybody's going to have the chance to play this event, aren't they, essentially? There's going to be, obviously, perks to go into in-person events, which is why we buy tickets and do it, but everybody is going to get a Go Fest if they want it.
Exactly. They'll get a specific Go Fest event. And the thing is, 2019, 2018, etc., we all got Go Fest themed spawns. It wasn't ever a proper event, but we got things that were features. When we were in Germany,
but they had the rotating hours, didn't they, instead of the habitats? Yeah.
But when we were in Germany in 2019, they had specific spawns that appeared globally, and then one shiny, I think it was Nidoran male for Dortmund 2019, was released globally, and you you could get that in the park as well. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with the live events. If the live Johto Tour and Kanto Tour thing that they did on that weekend is anything to go by, it's going to be absolutely huge.
Hopefully Washington, hopefully Seattle will be... That's the one I'm kind of hoping for. I've always wanted to see Seattle. Just a city I've always wanted to see. And you know what? I've never been to the northwest of the States.
Yeah, me neither. But Marky Boy, you were talking about going with your local crew from Toaster, etc., chatting with friends. That's what inspires these in-person events entirely. I think that's great.
Yeah,
it does, and I think where we're going to have been doing, we'll have done Seville before these come around. I think for my group of friends in Toaster, they haven't booked flights to go abroad yet. So for them, they're doing what we did with Seville, and it's quite nice to mention them actually, because they'll listen to a lot of them listen to the podcast anyway. As we're messaging in the group, I had Hervey, Evie, Leanne, Twinkle, the gang, also saying, I think Mark's doing the old podcast tonight, so he's probably not reading the messages. I'm like, no, I am reading the messages, don't worry.
I met a lot of your crew in Dortmund in 2019, and yeah, they seem like a sound guys.
Exactly, they are absolutely. And do you know what? And that's how our journey came along, didn't it? Because
we
hadn't gone over to Dortmund, we'd have never met.
Walking around filming, yeah.
No, and really good bunch. Really good bunch, and actually,
it's not how you met.
but yeah, everyone's excited for it. I'm in that headspace where it's about the experience, not necessarily. I don't mind if it's a reroll of the event; doesn't really bother me. I think there will be a slight variation. But I don't think we need more than that. But I think it's more about, like you said, playing with your mates, seeing a new place, and just embracing it, and having good food, good drink, and just bantering off each other for a long weekend. And over the weekends work better, really.
They do, yeah.
Gives everyone an opportunity. But yeah, not a lot of time to get planning for them, though, is it? You know,
not long. That's why I think this announcement's a little bit late. Since you don't plan on travelling, Coops, would you be inclined to play the global event at home in your casual status?
You know why it's really difficult? Honestly, I do find the whole thing really difficult. And again, I'm not talking about myself here, excuse me, but I even got a comment last night, like, on one of my videos, and it was like Coops, like, please come back, like, we really miss you. And obviously, like, I appreciate it, and at the moment there's this PvP tournament that I've been asked to do, and I've had to be like, guys, I appreciate it, but I don't post anymore. And it's just really difficult. My life is totally different for what it was a year ago, like, completely different. And it's kind of like, and the way that I feel about the game is totally different. So it's just like, I don't want to go to these events and play these events and start filming again, and I don't want to do that when my heart's just it's just not in it anymore. So sorry, I didn't want to get deep. I'm just saying, like, it's
but that's a good point, because you totally after Liverpool pretty much quit YouTube, didn't you? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I to be fair, bro, I'd actually quit the 6-7 weeks before that, but obviously I'd already had the ticket, already planned my trains, the travel, the hotel, not the train, etc. So I already had that, and it was cool. I was going to meet the trainer club. I was going to see, obviously, my boy Milo. I was going to see you. Do you know what I mean? It was just JT Valley. It was going to be a vibe, and it was a vibe. Yeah. But yeah, I'd already quit like 6-7 weeks before that. But yeah, no, will I play it? Honestly, mate, unfortunately, probably not. If I'm just being 110% honest.
Yeah, fair play, Coops. Each to their own, man. Each to their own. You don't have to play it, and that's the great thing about this game. You can literally play it how you want to. And
I'm still here. I'm still here with you.
You are still here. You're still creating content, but in an audio format. So, but Milo, talk to us about April's raids.
The raid game, absolutely. So,
it's your jam.
It is my jam. Well, it hasn't been my jam for a bloody long time this year, I say, but this month is looking a tad better, shall we say. Unfortunately, Tapu Lele is going to be here until the 5th of April, so that will then be sodding off, thankfully. And as the counter cousins, or counter cherry cousins, have said, Therian Forme Thundurus, the lightning and the lightning and flappy form, will be in raids from April the 5th to April the 12th. That is a brand new shiny form, and it's actually a very good legendary. It's a good DPS electric type attacker, which is excellent. Then from April the 12th to April the 26th, unfortunately another long stint, is Tapu Bulu, not Tapu Bunda. This is, I believe, the grass
I believe Coops does
fairy.
Tapu Bunda now.
Tapu Bunda. Tapu Bunda. So yeah, that's another non-shiny Gen 7 legendary in for 2 weeks. And then to round off the month, April the 26th to the 3rd of May is the last of the Forces of Nature. It is the Therian form of Landorus with the shiny now available. excellent ground type attacker. So those are the level 5 raids. They're looking a little bit more spicy, which is nice to see. Mega raids. We're still stuck with Mega Charizard. Why? Until the 5th of April. And then April the 5th to the 12th is Mega Manectric. April the 12th to the 29th is Mega Pidgeot. And then we have an exciting triple question mark again for the end of the month.
A lot of rumours are suggesting it might be Mega Kangaskhan.
Which would be very welcome, to be honest. So we'll see what that is at the end of the month. Obviously, they'll each have a raid hour. So April the 6th is Therian Forme Thundurus' raid hour. And then Tapu Bulu will have 2, April the 13th and April the 20th. And then finally, April the 27th is Therian Forme Landorus. Niantic have wised up to our lack of, I guess, interest or sympathy for the choices of 1 and 3 star raids because they haven't bothered putting them in the information on the article. So unfortunately, Marky Boy can't list off the level 1 raids like he did last time in style.
Oh,
Fuckers.
Bastards. Fuck off.
This is one of my favourite parts of each month. It's the Spotlight Hours. Don't look at the Pokemon. Look at what you get alongside them when you make your decisions on these. So on April the 5th, you will be wanting to get the 2x candy for transferring Pokemon because the featured Pokemon is Stunky, which obviously can't be shiny, but you can transfer all the Pokemon you've been saving during that hour. So use that to your advantage. April the 12th is definitely Bunnelby, but again, if you want to get that extra XP for evolving Pokemon in that hour, that's your opportunity as well. April the 19th, I know most people might already have their oddest shinies in their decks, but it's a 2x catch Stardust one. And this is the one I'm a little bit disappointed with, not because, well, actually it's a little fucker to catch Sunshine Form Cherim.
Yes.
It's a little bugger. Okay, you get the 2x catch XP, which I think should be 3x catch XP if you can have a go at this one, because it's always a red bloody ring on it from memory. But I would have loved them to put this one in a shiny, but okay, I think Cherim will have its day. But yeah, Sunshine Form Cherim is April the 26th, final one. And it's still Tuesday, 6 till 7. They haven't changed that yet, Milo.
Oh, they haven't put it down to 10 minutes, have they?
Spotlight, 30 minutes.
10 minutes.
Well, no, that's great. And that's the first part of the news. But we're going to break it up because tonight is very news heavy. So let's break it up with a bit of a game. Back to Mark for this week's Play Your Dex Right.
Play your dicks right.
Forgotten how good that jingle is.
Yeah.
It's a great jingle. We need to get Coops to record that in Ottawa and hear how it sounds up in Canada. I need to get my game opened up again. Sorry, boys. That's
You didn't drop
very
an incense?
unprofessional of me. Coops, I'll choose you.
I love that so much. What the fuck, boys?
You always reminded me, Coops. I remember there was one episode I listened back when you went, yeah, nice soundbite. And then when you said that, I was like...
He had the deadest expression when he did that.
Wasn't it?
Nice soundbite.
So it's Play Your Dicks Right.
Dicks Right.
And I'm
Play your
deliberately...
dicks right.
I was going to do one that would allow Coops to be involved. I was going to go Gen 1 for Coops, but maybe he will... Well, maybe
Give
he's
him Gen
forgotten
7.
about Gen 1 now. I'm going to start with you, Coops, because I just want to see if your head is still in the Kanto, because times have moved on. Is Oddish higher or lower than Zubat?
Oh, it's higher, much higher.
He's a bit rusty. It is higher, but it's only one higher.
Okay.
Sorry, higher? That's the other end of the... Oh, he's fucked for round 2. Milo, I know you love Unova. Unova is your favourite gen. My one for you, my friend, is Timber.
Timber.
Is Timber higher or lower than Aldino?
Lower.
It's higher.
Oh.
But Ian, you love Sinnoh. Sinnoh is a place that is fond with you. I know that you've told me that before. Mm-hmm. So is Cranidos higher or lower than Shieldon?
Cranidos is lower.
You're correct, Ian.
Ooh.
So
Suck it.
we go to round 2. Look at your little face,
shit.
Coops.
Come on.
Right. So, Coops, I know you love the Alola region.
Okay, come on, you little shit.
Is Rockruff higher or lower than Pikipek?
I've not heard of Pikipek at all, but I'm going to go the Rockruff. It feels like it's a shink, so towards the end, so I'm going to go Rockruff is higher.
He's right.
Am I? Hey.
I was waiting
come
for you to do
on.
what you always do, Coops, on the questions you go. So it reminds me of the Shinx-like one, which is at the far end, but I don't think it is this time round.
Excellent.
So Coops is still in it, right? So Ian,
Can I have
you
a
love
Bulbasaur
Johto.
Mewtwo one, please, Mark?
Yeah, I can do that. Do you want that one? Is Chikorita higher or lower than Mewtwo, Ian?
It's higher.
Got it. He's nailed it. So my one for you, Ian.
Oh, I thought that was my
is
question.
Oh, sorry.
No. Hell no, bitch.
Is Teddy Ursa higher or lower than Sneasel?
Higher.
Ian, you are correct. So we go to round 3.
We don't normally get this far, do we?
Very rarely.
No, very rare. We did have one where Milo just kept throwing it out. We got to like round 16 when you were like, right, this is fucking easy for everyone, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Coops just took over.
It just
asking
kept
questions.
fucking going.
So to the listeners, this is mad because Coops never makes it to the 3rd round of anything.
I'm gonna win this one.
He might win this one. So Coops, you like Hoenn? Is Pelipper? Because you like Pelipper. Is Pelipper higher or lower than Routes?
Ooh, that's tough. I'm gonna say cock. See now, Rolts for me is a one that feels towards the end of the gen. So I feel like this is wrong, but I am gonna go with Rolts is higher than Pelipper.
You are correct.
Yes.
Ian, are you ready, buddy? We're going to go to the Kalos region. Is Clauncher higher or lower than Helioptile?
Helicopter.
Not knowledgeable about Gen 6 and above. I would say it's lower, isn't it? It's lower.
It is lower, Ian. Round 4. Bloody hell.
The stamina.
This is quite exciting, actually. Right, round 4. Coopsy. Is Flabébé, or the little flower dude, Flabébé,
Are you winding me up?
Flabébé, is it higher or lower than Litleo?
I think Litleo is like the Rattata Pidgey of the Kalos region, so that's going to be lower. So I'm going to go with that the flower, the Lababech, is higher.
He's right.
He's common sense Coops tonight.
Common sense Coops.
Still half an inch of dick, though.
But you have stamina, man.
Right, Ian. So we're going to Gala. Not Gala Bingo, but Gala region.
Galar region.
Ian, is Phalanx higher or lower than Runerigus or Runerigus? Runerigus? Runerigus. We'll go with that,
It's a silly name, isn't it?
isn't it?
I would say Phalanx is lower.
It's higher.
Oh. Well done, Coops.
Ole, ole. Getting ready for Seville. Ole, ole.
Oh, are you actually coming now? Are you coming?
No,
It's
bro.
my game. It's
Do
my
you know what I
game.
had though, Milo? Milo, for the 5th round for Coops on, I was going to go in the unknown region. Is Meltan higher or lower than Melmetal?
That's a good one.
Good game, mate. Good game.
Oh, well done, Coops. Well done, Coops. GG's.
GG's, bro. GG's.
Fucking GG's.
So anyway, guys, do you think we should get back to the news?
Is the news.
Part 2.
Part 2. Right, and I'm actually going to take a section because there's a lot to cover and I can't just fob it all off on you guys, but this is one that's a little bit dear to my heart. We all love a mudkip, don't we? Announced just a couple of days ago is we have our 2nd ever Community Day Classic coming up. Will this make people happy? I don't know, but it's a bloody good event. Sunday, April the 10th, 2022 from 2 p.m. through till 5 p.m. Sorry, Milo, it's another 3-hour window.
It's okay. It's a Comedy Classic. It's a different event.
Exactly. Trainers, we're pleased to announce that we'll be holding a Community Day Classic featuring another fan favourite, which is Mudkip. And we, as I said, we all love Mudkip. Evolving your Marshtomp into Swampert, it's going to know the Charge Attack Hydro
Frenzy
Cannon.
I knew you were going to do
Community Day
that.
Classic, there's going to be the usual $1 research, 79 pence research in the UK. And event bonuses, we've got the sweetest bonus out of everything. The 3 times catch XP. It's my favourite bonus.
It's my favourite bonus.
I'm not Northern.
You're a dickhead, though. Right, carry on.
Yeah, I'm a dickhead, but I'm not Northern. So yeah, we've got the triple catch XP. Fucking brilliant bonus. I love that one. Incensed and lore modules activated during the event will last for 3 hours, and there will be snapshots as usual. There will be the 850 Pokecoin bundles, which will give you 15 Ultra Balls, 15 Pineapple Bellies, 1 Berries.
Berries.
1 Elite Fast TM and 1 Remote Raid Pass. And of course, there'll be the usual 30 Ultra Ball package in the shop, which is free. So, guys, Community Day Classic number 2. Are we happy? I actually like this one. I think it looks pretty damn good.
This is a good choice. I am so glad they didn't do Pokédex number or Conde order or whatever it was, because either way we'd have had crap next. Picking ones that people like is a really good thing. And Mudkip, great for raids. Get some Mega, which I know we all love in the future. And it's good, Coops, isn't it, for all 3 leagues of GBL?
Correct, and correct. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
Beep, 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 beep.
Can't really be happy with the choice.
And another 3 hours of triple catch XP for those that are grinding towards level 50. It's my favourite bonus.
How many hours? How many
3
hours?
hours.
3
3 hours.
3.
Yeah.
Milo, how many hours was it, bro?
Half a normal Conde.
No, for real though, I'm hoping to just get out for an hour and a half, 2 hours, bang this one, because I need the XL candy, and I do want a good IV one for PvP, like a specific PvP IV.
Coops,
Low attack,
do you
high
want
HP
it? Do
and
you want it
defense.
for your little content creator competition you're doing?
No, you're a mug. No. I just
Tap.
no, like I said, you
Tap.
not know. I still do the odd GBL battle when I'm bored every now and again. You see me online sometimes. I'm doing my battles, but yeah, no, this one is
Milo's
great.
good at GBL.
Yeah,
Milo
yeah.
does. He did a video with your boyfriend the other
He
day.
did, yeah, he shared him.
Oh my god, I haven't watched that
You
yet.
haven't?
Yes, I need to.
I won.
What did you? I've not watched it
won.
yet.
I mean, I watch Milo. Sorry, Coops, you're talking about your bit, but evolving level 1s, Milo. Smart move.
The thing is, I'd done that before we even decided what we were doing.
Oh yeah, you're here. Come on, G. 17k views in that. Come on, jeez.
It makes sense, doesn't it? It's a great one for GBL, isn't it? So you will want that XL candy, won't you, mate, on this Mudkip one?
And to be fair, like Milo said, like honestly, mate, like Swampert is just a fucking generally a really good Pokemon. Shiny's sick. XL candy maxing a few to level 50, like the Mega. I think the Mega's going to be fucking.
It's going to
sorry, I
be.
keep swearing,
It's going to be
sorry.
the best.
Yeah, the Mega's going to be the best water. Yeah, honestly, this is definitely one to get out there. And yeah, no, this is genuinely no negatives from my end at all.
I'm looking forward to doing it for this one.
I
I've
was
shown you this
zero.
one, haven't I?
0%.
Nice. That needs to go to level 50.
Doesn't it?
For damn sure.
facts.
I think that needs to be evolved. Powered up just
Powered
as
up
much as
straight
Humber.
away.
Yeah.
But the Mega Swampert people is set, unless Kyogre gets a move set update, is set to be better than Primal Kyogre.
Wow.
Which is mental. So it will literally be the best water type in the game when it comes out. So good chance to prep. And as Coop said, get good IVs for PvP, because when it was last here in 2019, GBL didn't exist.
That's true.
Better days.
And
No,
of
it
course,
did-
one of the best typings in the game as well.
I was going to say, I know we've spoken about it. I mean, I love the Mudkip one, by the way. Like we've all said it, I'm just echoing your thoughts on it. I love Mudkip, great Pokemon. Love my water types, a bit like you, Ian. It's relevant. It's going to have everybody want to play it. And obviously with the 3 times catch XP, isn't it, for that one?
It's my favourite bonus.
You know, why wouldn't you have a go on that? I like the idea. These are now coming around when the game's changed. It just makes sense, doesn't it? As Coop said last week quite eloquently, when we talked about the con days being reduced, actually, it doesn't make sense doing it when we talk about really the game's changed a lot, but actually these little events, now 3 hours, bit of Candy XL, it's starting to make these Pokemon that are relevant for GBL, giving people these opportunities to get them to that next level. And I like the idea of it.
So for April, the research breakthrough encounter is going to be, oh fucking hell, this one can actually be shiny. It's the Alola Marowak. So it's not the normal one. So yeah, it's going to be from the 1st of April until the 1st of May. You know, you can look at that however you want to. And other feature updates. A new Adventure Sync widget will be available for Android devices in early April. When you enable Adventure Sync, you will now have the option to add a widget. Why would you do this? To your device's home screen, so you can track your progress when hatching eggs.
Coops, I actually
and
have
the
it for my iPhone. I actually have that
for fuck's
widget.
sake.
I like widgets as well. I love widgets on the Android. So
Mark, we're the 2 older ones of the group, and Coops is like, oh, I don't like widgets.
yeah. Well, Coops probably didn't know what a
Fucking hell,
widget
you're
was.
like
to
Gen
be fair.
Z, you should love it.
I just have the game open.
Yeah.
24/7.
Do you know what's funny? 23/8. But do you know what's funny? I would have actually had the thingy, but my Adventure Sync hasn't worked for literally like the last 6 years.
Oh, Coops.
Oh,
mate.
Coops.
But yes, that's it. So Yeah, research and the widget, the widget.
Oh dear. Well, I will go into the next bit very quickly. These are the upcoming events that are going to be happening. This one would have been and gone by the time you're listening to this one, but we've got the April Fool's 2022. We'll all know what it is by the time we listen to this, but yeah, that's the April Fool's event. That should be quite good fun on there for a day. I think it's a 3-stage research from Professor Willow. We've got the All Hands Rocket Retreat. Additional sources report the potential for heightened Team Go Rocket activity from Sunday, April the 3rd to Thursday, April the 7th, so stay alert. Spring into spring from Tuesday, April the 12th to Monday, April the 18th, 22. Get ready to jump headfirst into spring with this themed event. And then we've got everyone's favourite week, that is Sustainability Week. From Wednesday, April the 20th.
What did Coops call that last year? The Stoppy Gartosh week or something?
Stoppy Gotos.
I like this week because it does put focus on the world, the planet, and there'll be events as well which people will be doing, like cleaning beaches. Or if you like your camping like me, you won't be anywhere near a beach to tidy it up. But I might make a special trip out there. But trainers will be able to reflect on the importance of sustainability while other Pokemon originally discovered in the Alola region make its Pokemon debut. So we're a new Pokemon for that one. I would imagine it would be shiny on release, because last time we had Trubbish for Sustainability Week, and actually I think they boosted the shiny rate for Trubbish from memory. Well, I seem to get a lot of them,
I got
which
a lot
was
of
nice.
Trubbish, but no shiny ones.
Do you still need one?
There's only one problem with Sustainability Week. There's no beach in Ealing, is there?
No.
Buy a packet of sand.
If we see Milo filming on the beach for that one, we know he's broken his own rules. He's travelled. But yeah, they're the events in April. Nice. It's nice to see some sort of familiarity with some of these events. They always come around annually now.
Yeah, you see the events coming around. Yeah.
Good news.
What?
I've just got my adventure sync sorted.
I have some other good news, some little snippets on those events.
Oh,
Go.
Just a hypothesis on this one. We might see Shiny Stunky with the Team Rocket event, much like they did with Litleo, remember, for that
would
event,
make sense.
with the Spotlight Hour, so that could happen, which is fucking overdue. The spring into spring, the data miners found Flower Crown, like the flower thing. You remember we got Togepi last year? They found Togetic and Togekiss and Lopunny, so they've got the costume evolutions, which is cool. And yeah, the Sustainability Week, I think, was one of the best events of 2021 from memory.
It was really fun last year, yeah.
So they're listening to you, Milo, aren't they? Because those are some of your favourite Pokemon. Togetic, Togepi,
Yes.
with Flower
They won't
Crown.
be listening to him if he keeps complaining all the time to them.
Oh, just you watch.
Milo, is it true that you can evolve these as well with their costumes on this time around as well?
Yeah, that's what's been found in the code is
'cause the
Togetic and
evolutions are in the
Togekiss
code,
with the Flower Crown costume on. So if you've got a good IV Togepi or whatever with the crown, or a good IV Baneri with the crown on it, you can finally evolve it.
I hope they can backdate it as well, because I've got one with flipping Flower Crown.
I think if you've got
Do
one,
anything
it'll
with
be
it.
Yeah, if you've
eligible
got
to
one,
be
you'll be able to
evolved
evolve
once
it.
goes live.
Get in there! Oh, good, right, brilliant.
Yeah,
I'm
because
happy
you
now.
were upset about that last year, actually, Mark. I remember you saying about that.
Yeah, I had two of them and I traded one because I couldn't do anything with it.
So thanks, guys. That's great news and great info, Milo, on the data mines. But some say Niantic interns are fired contestants from The Apprentice and that they have cheese on everything. All we know is it's time for Milo to bring back a classic. It's time, Milo, to ask the intern.
Ask the intern.
God, we haven't done this in ages. It's
Well,
so
we haven't,
long.
and I figured you had to be the one to bring it back.
I think rightfully so. So obviously last week we discussed about Niantic reverting the community day from 6 hours to 3. We won't go over that too much because it's in episode 59 for you to all enjoy. But since then, there has been a few extra bits of spice over the internet. First and foremost is this Reddit post, which was actually a follow-up from a discussion that I think JRE Seawolf is sort of a PvP dude, had a conversation with Michael, who's the Pokemon Go live game director, so in charge of like the live events and things like that. We won't be going over the whole Reddit post because it's crazy long, but you can find it easily. Trust me, on Twitter
Easily
and stuff.
accessible, yeah.
In essence, they had a face-to-face sit-down, which I think is great. I've said I commend them both for doing an in-person exchange and stuff, which is great. They had a chat about, their early days in the game, how community days came into existence and all of that, but there are a few bits and pieces which are quite interesting. So first and foremost is what they title the broken vision, which is in essence where they had a direction that were taking Pokemon Go, and when the pandemic hit, they had to massively alter their vision of the game, take a hard left, which I'm sure we all know. We know that by now, and we think they did a pretty good job in adjusting various things. But in specific terms, the Incensed, in his words, meant that players never had to leave their home to have a full Go experience. That's a quote-ish from him. This is sort of Jerry Seawolf noting things down on a rough, I would say. They've made various changes with a certain saturation of spawn points and stuff like that. Some of the stuff won't ever go back, which is good, but there are a few things like the incense and other things that broke the vision of the game. The things that set it apart, in their vision, it was counterintuitive and really counterproductive to be able to theoretically spawn everything you'd need without ever having to go anywhere, and with such frequency and ease. There was a strong sense that something important had been lost. So that's some of their feelings on it. The community days, this is where I find it gets a bit spicy. Question was brought up is what's the decision to reduce the hours, noting the widespread criticism, the accuracy in reporting figures and percentages for community days that maybe don't have so much interest versus the first ever Com Day Classic versus EV Gibble Com Days, etc. What was said, couple of things. What prompted looking into the data in the first place was calls from community members, though he openly recognised it was not the majority of the players in the community. Specifically, this feedback came from talking to some YouTubers and discussions on community Discord servers. Such discussions were the trigger to look into the data, and then as has been noted in several places, and we talked about it last week, the data says less than 5% of players play 3 hours or more. So that was that. One other thing that sort of, grinds my gears. What do you expect? What do you expect with this? Other concerns with longer windows that were 6 hours encourage those who do grind for 6 hours. They have an inherent advantage over other players, more XL, more candy, etc. He firmly believes that having only 3 hours, 3 possible hours, helps level the playing field for community days. A couple of other topics were, having the incense walking boost, etc., etc. There's quite a lot to go through in the article, which is why we're not reading through the entire thing. We're quite short for time on that. But have you guys looked at the article, read it, and have you got some quick viewpoints on it?
I haven't read it, and to be honest with you, I started reading it and I realised I needed to pay some attention to it. Because there was quite a bit of detail in there. Quite a lot of detail in there. So I haven't got anything to really add to it, buddy.
Fair dues. Coops, have you read it? Reddited the Reddit post?
No. To be honest, I didn't know what you were what it was, but I just think the whole thing's difficult, isn't it? Because I just think I don't know. I don't know if you lot will agree with this or not, but I think if you're addicted to the game, and with Love Milo, like you are, and most of the people in your community, a lot of your patrons and are completely addicted. If they could play the game, for example, all banter aside, like Fleece King, 20 hours a day, then they would, for the next 10 years. I think that you're always going to be angry and frustrated, and you're not ever going to see any other point of view apart from your own, because all you want to do is play Pokemon Go 24/7. That's all you want to do. Just want to raid good raid bosses, catch all the shinies, and I get that because I was there. But then you also don't want to listen to someone like me with love. I don't really fucking care. So it's so it's really difficult. And it's really difficult to find an opinion in the middle. That's why sometimes in these discussions, I like someone like Ian. Even though he loves the game, he can also bring his opinion back and see it more from my perspective. But I think on Twitter, you've either got people that are so against it or so with it. It's very rare that you have this middle ground, if that's a fair point to make. And I think that bless Michael. Yeah, he is coming from this middle ground of increasing the incense, making the incense amazing, which it was. It gave people the opportunity to kind of never go out. But obviously we see it as, and people that are addicted to it, they say it as, oh my God, you made the game better, now you're making it worse, because regardless of anything, you're going to be playing the game, right? So it's this really difficult, I don't know, I find it really difficult. But I said I appreciate the article. Obviously I might give it a read now I know about it, but it is tough, and bless him, and I get it, and I do see where he's coming from. I get it. I totally understand. It really defeats the purpose of the game, what it was 3 years ago, going out exploring. Incensed isn't supposed to be. It's not supposed to be a big part of the game. Going out and about is it's tough. For me, like I said, and I didn't want to sound like a wanker, but like I said, you either get the addicted to the game point of view, or you get people like me that don't really play it and don't really fucking care. I only care about PvP. You want to find that really middle ground where you're passionate about the game, but you still play it and you do your 10 to 20 kilometers a week type thing.
Fair enough. Ian.
I'm going to keep this fairly sort of concise and consolidate probably why people hate me, because I do look at this fairly objectively and quite detached. So I read the article. Now, Michael is in a no-win position because his primary objective is not to cater to people that are addicted to the game, like Coop said.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying
no,
that.
I've been there. I've been there. I still love the game.
Yeah,
I still play the game every day. But you are right, Coops, in that I'm quite detached, and I try to look at it from both sides. Now, Michael's role, as far as I can see, is to keep this game balanced. And we've talked about balance before. He's got to keep it balanced. Now, the two things I picked up on was the incense, and we're not going to go over that. We had this big discussion last week, but
yeah,
I can't fault the guy. He's right. If you drop an incense, a pandemic incense, getting a spawn a minute, you do not need to go out. Now, I know people are saying, well, they would still go out in addition and play the game normally, but there are a large proportion of people that will just drop an incense and not go out. Now, again, we talked about this last week, so I know there's people that are working that have got childcare. They've got a million reasons why they can't go out, and I'm one of them. I work 11, sometimes 12 hours a day. Mark does. I know we've got patrons that work long hours too. But the game has to be balanced, and if people can get everything while they're at home, some people will still go out, but the majority will think, oh, I don't really need to. So that's that. Now, the other thing with the 3-hour community, I think he probably chose his turn of phrase, in my opinion, poorly about leveling the playing field, because what he's trying to say is there are people like you, Milo, that will go out. There's a 6-hour community, and you will grind 6 hours and 1 minute of that community day. And then there's other people, like you said last week, that'll go out and play 20 minutes. Now, the difference in percentage of what you're going to get between 6 hours and 20 minutes and 3 hours and maybe 20 minutes, it does balance it out a little bit. It doesn't change the fact that some people are going to play none of the event, some people are going to play all of the event, but it reduces what you can get within that window. Now, do I agree with that opinion? Honestly, no. But we talked about this last week. But I can see where the guy's coming from in that is trying to keep this game balanced.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We all want to make it better. We said that last week 100 times. If you haven't listened to that episode, go back and check it out. It was a good discussion. We've said that we're all very passionate. This has been a big part of our lives. We want the game to get better.
Absolutely. No one's saying anything other, are they? No.
If you put if you put that addictive headspace to one side and look at it like we're trying to do objectively, I do feel sorry for them because they do get a lot of backlash. But I do understand his replies to the statement. It does defeat the object of getting out and going. I get that. I do get that. I do.
And you're in the minority, Milo, that you do go out and you grind the whole time. But I personally know people that will sit at home, or would when they could, and just drop an instance and play community from home, because you don't need to. You're getting a spawn a minute. You don't need to go out if you're getting that obscene number of spawns.
So I haven't read the article, but one thing I would agree on is that exactly what you said then, is myself included, when I was working from home for a bit, I would have had the game on as well, or when I was furloughed, I'd have the game on at home, and you could get everything by doing nothing. Yet there would still be a small minority of people that would still go out and still play like they normally did. So I would agree that that's probably why some people that have modified their way of playing it, where actually there's not a pandemic anymore where they live, and they don't work from home anymore, or they might still work from home, but they feel like it's impacted them now because of that change. And you're absolutely right. I think they left it for too long, probably, really. But yeah, that's kind of get it. And you're right, it is. He's trying to do the article from quite a balanced position, and actually fair play to him for doing that. Balanced view, totally get it. Minority play it loads, majority don't play it loads. I'm not as passionate because I don't play it loads. And like we are with my friends in Toast, we spoke about them tonight, they're not really bothered by it. So I guess you get those same echoes around the people that play it the same way as you do around the other way they live their lives.
I think the more hardcore players are probably more bothered about it, aren't they, than the normal, shall we say, person that plays the game.
The normals. the casuals. It's a new level of casual. I'm in there now. I'm a casual.
But Milo, what are your thoughts, mate? Because we've all given our opinion.
Right. Okay. I'm not going to really go too much into the Incensed. We discussed the Incensed quite a lot last week. As I said, I think they could have made the changes better by not doing exactly what they've done. There were different routes, and it feels like they're now sort of doing damage control with the Mudkip Comday Classic, trying to sort of smooth everything over. Look, we've got a really good event. Go and like us again. The thing that grinded my gears is the whole advantage thing with the 6 hours. That statement could be put into the 3-hour window. It makes no difference what the time schedule is. People who can play the full extent of the event, Johto Tour, people who could play the full extent of that will have an inherent advantage to people who could only do 4 hours or whatever. It's never been an issue until he said it now, and within Pokemon Go, it's inherently imbalanced in all aspects of the game versus somebody who can only do 2 raids per day for a legendary versus somebody who could go and do 3,000 raids for Mewtwo, for example, or somebody who can hatch, whatever their job is. Some people sit down more at a desk versus some people who are active, very active in their work, so they can hatch more eggs.
Yeah, but no offense, I also that just straight up comes down to like what job you have. Like depending on how much money you earn is how much money, how much spare money you've got to spend.
Yeah, it does.
So that's what I'm trying to say.
But
like,
it also comes.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. Like that's how the advantage starts straight away, that the game is expensive.
Yes.
And if there's nothing wrong with it, but if you have a job that pays you really well, you're at an advantage straight off the bat, like straight away.
Yeah, exactly.
So I completely agree with you. That advantage comment's just
people have different levels of disposable income. Yeah.
It's like
it goes down to even free things within the game. Like if there's an event going on and you happen to have the week off, you can go and grind. For example, it even boils down to things like Spotlight hours. I can grind the whole of Spotlight hour, but Ian, you actually very rarely get the chance to play Spotlight hour, so you'd have missed out on Para Spotlight hour with basically 5 times Catch Stardust. I don't think it's right. The way that he's put that forward, I think that's a very poor argument to try and justify what they've done. So that was my biggest gripe with the whole article. Really, it's a very poor statement, I think, and trying to justify the changes in Community Day hours down to balancing the game. Yeah, I don't agree with it at all. And also they're triggered to looking into the data. I want to know who the YouTubers or people were that did this. I think before enacting on anything, Niantic could have actually done a bit more talking to people, maybe had a bit more scope, because it feels like this has just sort of come back after, a few months and a few people talking to them, like 1% of people talking to them. It's not a realistic kind of overall view. At the end of the day, it's an interesting read. I recommend people do go and check it out. The story, and Michael's now doing some interviews with some other gaming media outlets and stuff, which is sort of touting similar-ish stuff as well. But they've given some of the reasoning as to why they've changed Community Day structure for April and possibly May. May might be locked into 3 hours as well.
They did say it's a trial, so this is not 100% locked in.
Indeed, it's a trial, and they also say give April a go and then report back to us. They are open to feedback, as they've said. So we've got to give it a try in April and then let them know how you feel. But that was Ask the Intern.
And what normally comes after Ask the Intern? Yeah, let's head straight into everyone's favourite section. It's time for Shinies of the Week.
Shinies of the week.
So I'll go first, and this one really cracked me up. So this was 2 days ago, and this was from Croydon PvP Arena. This isn't my alt account, but they said, listening to episode 1 of the new Lure Module podcast by the boys of Incensed podcast, and the weekend provided a different coloured iron ball with PvP potential. Hashtag shinies of the week, hashtag clarify the spelling, you twat, and big up Croydon getting a shiny Pharisee.
Oh, nice.
It's the only Twitter account which had a higher number of followers when it started, but it's dropping as they it started with about 1,000. That's down to 16. I don't know what that's down to. This one's from Caesar War or Caesar Worry or however it's pronounced. At Incensed Podcast, listened to the latest episode and hatched a 97% rock ruff and caught a shiny snubble. Looking forward to getting some merch, boys. Little happy face. Cheers, boys. Shinies of the week. Hashtag shinies of the week and hashtag 97% IV Pokemon caught. Starting a new hashtag again. We like that.
Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff.
I made that up.
It would have been good if they actually put that in. I'll jump in next with Malcolm Burgess. Thank you very much for posting a shiny Kangaskhan, obviously from the land down under. My shiny luck this week has been crazy. Cheers, guys. Hashtag shinies of the week at Incense Podcast, and listening to the Festival of Colours event episode, which is when Fleeting didn't turn up.
Yes. The last one today is from iKiller, and it said, just got my first shiny Pharisee while listening to episode 57 of At Incense Podcast, hashtag shinies of the week. Yes, I've just said it, shiny Pharisee. And that is this week's shinies of the week.
Shinies of the week.
Brilliant. So we're getting to the end of the show, but Mark, I believe you did a thing. It's time for Mark to whip out his poll.
Is that Mark's poll?
Oh, God. It's gone from we'll occasionally let him get it out to now we need him to get it out every week. It's a tired poll, but it's definitely out again. So the poll was, GO-Fest 22, which one do you fancy the most? We had the 4 options, which did include global. Starting from the bottom, working its way up in joint third position, Seattle and Sapporo both had 11% of people fancying that one out of all of them. Berlin came in second with 20%, the majority of people, and I get it, are very happy with the global one, 59% of people.
Wow.
Looking forward to the global one. Some comments about this. Stewie16H said, I'm starting to be like casual Coops, not really playing the game as much, so may not even do it. I found Johto taught average, so it may depend on the price. Pokemon Crossroads has said, I like the global idea. It would be nice to travel, but let's be honest. Will I be able to travel if I have no budget? Not really. Now, the real question is, will Niantic revert Incense to how it was to make it worth it or force people into parks?
Ooh, controversial.
Kessie Cherry goes, can't afford to travel, so just doing the global one. Shadow Legend 16 says, it's the middle of exam season for me, so I can't travel to any. Jess says, Berlin is on my go-to list of places, so got to make it happen. And Sneaky Shadow says, I enjoyed the global Go-Fest, but nothing beats an in-person experience. Going to Berlin for my second in-person Go-Fest after Dortmund in 2019. So there we go. 56 people on the poll, sorry. Very
Not
good.
bad for half our poll. Not bad at all. But hopefully 3 out of the 4 of us will get to go to a Go-Fest. If not, we'll see you in Walpole Park. But hashtag see you out there. Anyway, this is probably a moot point, but did anybody drop an incense? Any shinies tonight?
No.
Okay. So in that case, we'd just like to take a quick moment to thank those people that take their support to the next level. So to all of our patrons, regardless of what tier you're on, but silver and bronze tiers, thank you so much for being here. And to those members that are on the gold tier,
Hermes Ninja.
Tish Smith.
JB.
Clifford Mert.
Agent MLI.
And our latest gold member, Martin2292.
Big up yourselves, done no.
absolutely good, yep.
The joke aside, we've said this loads of times before, all our patrons help us produce it, certainly, and the gold tiers does make a massive difference, but like we say it all the time, we do mean it. So yeah, thank you again, and just buy some merch, please, now.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
But if you would like to jump on board and join the Patreon fam, you can find us at patreon.com/Incense Podcast with tiers starting at literally £1.50, which I think is just a couple of dollars. So we'd love to see you in our Patreon, in our Discord, but just listening to us is definitely support enough. But don't forget, you can share your stories with us on Twitter, Insta, and if you really want to go old school, you can send us an email at incensepodcast@yahoo.com. Twitter, TikTok, and Insta, our handle is dead simple. It's at Incensed Podcast. And that's pretty much it. Guys, we've got to the end of episode 60. And on that bombshell, thanks for listening. We'll catch you next week.
I choose you!